So every night at 3 a.m., I usually wake up and I'll take my dream journal and I draw in it my dream and I write it down. Some of them are pretty crazy. I don't censor them. I'm not concerned about politically correctness. I just write down whatever I dream. So that's one aspect of my life. Well, I call myself a popcorn artist, doing crazy big cubes and things, all decorative with collages on them. I got into art kind of almost by mistake, by accident, and I consider serendipity my middle name. I think my specialty is finding art in unexpected places. They would take these pieces and would drop them into sand and cast them. I mean, I think these shapes, look at this particular shape, how beautiful that is just by itself. Imagine that cast in bronze. I've been very much influenced by my first mentor, Marcel Duchamp, who did found art. My artwork was the freshest thing he'd seen in years. That meeting had a huge impact on my life, and it sort of gave me confidence. Terry Riggs, who was opening an art gallery, and I offered to help him. And he was an alcoholic and lived in his car, and he disappeared at 23, and I had no experience really, and I dropped out of college, and there I had a gallery, and somehow it clicked. And then I lost my lease on my space, and it gave me an opportunity to do something different. I ended up in Venice, California. First business was leasing these studios in Venice and subleasing them to artists. So I started doing film and TV art direction. And now my magazine, 12 issues that I had bound in India. Living in Venice, I was very well situated in the culture. I never thought I'd leave. But I heard about a man that was on Maui teaching Ashtanga yoga. And I thought, an intensive yoga class for 30 days, right up my alley. So I flew over on a fluke, rented a room up the street, and went to class. And I fell in love with the old man, with the local yoga teacher, with the yoga community. I love swimming in the ocean. I love this street, East Kuiaha. I used to run up and down the street. I love the smell of it. So I decided to leave California. I had a girlfriend named Susan who had a little boy named Rex, and I used to drive him to school at the Montessori's, and we would go by the Paia sugar mill. And I made up a story about this being a ninja factory. And he said, I want to see him. So I stopped in the office. I introduced myself. I said, I've got this little boy. I'd like to see the factory. He said, why, sure. I'm seeing the patinas. I'm seeing the colors. I'm seeing these machines grinding the cane. I'm seeing smoke going up the chimney. And I just felt like I'd just fallen into heaven. I saw beauty. I loved what I saw. They let me come whenever I wanted. I bring my cameras, and I started filming the inside of the mill. And little by little, I created a body of work. I didn't know what I was going to do with it until one day I called some friends together and I showed them what I was coming up with. Somehow we decided to do a show, and I called it The Enigma of the Mill, because it is enigmatic. I'm finding beauty where there's ugliness. I'm finding beauty where there's noise and crazy stuff. And the show is an overnight success. So after the show, I got pretty good rapport with the people at the mill. And I would go in and they'd give me stuff like these pieces of metal. So I started collecting all this material. I mean, these pieces, everything that you see, every cutout was a part for the mill. And I find this to be very beautiful. I mean, this was thrown away. I look at it and I think, God, they threw the best part away. And the circles, the squares, the zigzags, I mean, it's just like, how fun is that they threw this away and they didn't even know how great it was. "60 years ago, I got my first camera, and the first thing I photographed was a junkyard. So it sort of continued on, in a way. The main theme is art in unexpected places. Found art, finding art where there is no art. People come here and they don't know what to think of all this, but it's my way of finding art in unexpected places. I think that's what I do.